Hey guys, and welcome back to my books. I I was about to say Bookstagram, but this isn't Bookstagram, this is BookTube. Okay, anyway. Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel, the Bronson Sky Library. Today I am going to be doing a bookshelf tour. I bought and I built a brand new bookshelf, and so I thought it was time to, reorganize my bookshelves. And I thought that it would be fun to take you guys along the journey with me of building and reorganizing the books. I made time-lapse videos to put into this video so you could get a little glimpse of me making and reorganizing if you guys enjoy that. I don't know. And then I will go right on into the bookshelf tour. So I hope you guys enjoy, and yeah. So we are going to start off with the top shelf of my first bookshelf. Here I have all of my literary fiction, my contemporary, my classic novels, and all of that. I have them all combined because I don't have very many of them. But first, the first book will be is The Absolutely True Diary of a Part-Time Indian, followed by Simon vs. the Homo Sapiens, and then I have Sense and Sensibility, and then I have some Bachman books, like the Beartown series. And then I have a book by John Baird and Kevin Costner called The Explorers Guild. I have actually never read this, but it's a very pretty cover, so it's on display. And then I have The Vanishing Half by Britt Bennett, followed by some classic novels like A Christmas Carol and Crime and Punishment. And then I have some John Green books, followed by The Best Christmas Ever. It's a picture book by Sylvia Green, and then a YA, I believe, called The Librarian of Auschwitz, a book called A Prayer for Owen Meany, and then a book Racing Savannah. That is a YA romance that I probably should unhaul because I don't really care for it. But then the next book is The Boy, the Mole, the Fox, and the Horse, followed by 12 Years a Slave. And then the next shelf down we have My Dark Vanessa, followed by a book called Schizo, and then some classic novels like A Tree Grows in Brooklyn, followed by some John Steinbeck books like East of Eden, one of my favorites. And then I have Adventures of Huckleberry Finn, followed by a self-published book, Summertime Kisses, by a friend of mine, who she actually wrote that in high school. And then we have Love and Gelato, Love and Luck, Love and Olives. That trilogy, I haven't read all of them. I've only read the first one. And then we have Everything, Everything. And then I have some knickknacks. Here is a little record player that my mom got me with some little records, and then a little puzzle thing right here. And then the next shelf down, we have my science fiction shelf. And I decided to display Skyward, the UK edition, because I think it's the most beautiful cover ever, and I thought it would be nice to have the UK edition start off my science fiction shelves. And so after that, we have a classic. We have I, Robot by Asimov, and then we have The Handmaid's Tale, and then some Bradbury. We have Red Rising, we have Parable of the Sower, we have 2001: A Space Odyssey, followed by the Hunger Games trilogy. And I know some of these are actually dystopians, but science fiction and dystopian follow kind of similar veins. Anyway, and then we have the first book of Leviathan Wakes, followed by some David Farland books. It's like the Serpent Tide trilogy or something like that. Or not trilogy. I don't even remember. And then we have The House of the Scorpion, followed by a book called Found, one of my favorite books when I was younger, or one of my favorite science fiction books when I was younger, by Margaret Haddix. The next shelf down, we have a book by Shannon Hale, and then The Moon is a Harsh Mistress by Heinlein. Then we have Dune, a book more like a psychological thriller than some science fiction. It's a book called When. And then we have Ursula K. Le Guin, The Left Hand of Darkness, followed by The Knife of Never Letting Go, and then a book called Nemesis. And then we have my Sanderson books, like the Reckoner series. We have the US editions of Skyward, Starsight, Cytonic, and then the novellas. And then we have Scythe, and then there's They Both Die at the End, a book called Forsaken after that. And then we have H.G. Wells' The War of the Worlds, followed by All Systems Red, and then a book called Neverness by David Zindel. And then the last shelf on the first bookshelf, it's just my TV shows, my movies, and all of that. Daniel Green would be appalled that these are here. But yeah, there's that for you. And then on my second bookshelf, on the top shelf, we have some graphic novels and some manga, so like Avatar and Full Metal Alchemist. And then I have a cute plant. It is fake. And then I have a seashell on there with my middle name on it. And then I have one of my all-time favorite collections that I got when I was younger from my parents. It is the Peter Rabbit Library, which will always be my all-time favorite collection that I own. And then the next shelf is the start of my fantasy bookshelves. So we will start off with, I have the Blade Itself trilogy, the First Law, I should say, followed by Senlin Ascends, and then I have some Leigh Bardugo books. It's just the Grishaverse. I've read all of them except for King of Scars. And then I have The Bone Ships by R.J. Barker, and then The Wonderful Wizard of Oz, followed by Willa of the Wood. And then here is technically the third shelf of my second bookcase, the second shelf of my fantasy. First we have this book called Lore, And then we have A Natural History of Dragons, and then we have Elliot Brooks's Peace and Turmoil, followed by the Sisters Grimm's books. I don't have all of them, but I do have some of them. And then I have a Scott Card book, and then I have the Darkest Rising not trilogy, but series. And then there's Legendborn, The Tale of Despero, Long Live the Pumpkin Queen. I have a couple Neil Gaiman books, followed by Silver and the Blood, and then we have The Princess Bride. Alright, so this next shelf, I have Daniel Green's books, followed by John Gwynn's books, the Faithful and Fallen series, and also the Blood Sworn Saga, I think. And then we have Shannon Hale's The Goose Girl series, followed by her Kind of a Big Deal book, and then I have Assassin's Apprentice, and then Into the Wild, and then the first book of The Wheel of Time, and then the first book of A Curse So Dark and Lonely, and then I have Stephen King's Fairy Tale. The last shelf, hopefully you can see this, but I have some more Stephen King books, followed by some TJ Klune books. I have Jade City, We Ride the Storm, the first book in A Song of Ice and Fire, and then I have a couple books by Lisa Maxwell. I haven't read The Last Magician, but I have read Unhooked, and that was fun. It is a Peter Pan and Captain Hook story. And then I have some of my Brandon Mull collection, like The Beyonders, I have the Candy Shop War, and then I have all of the Fablehaven books, and then I have the first two books, no, just kidding, I have the first book of Dragon Watch, and then this fourth book of Dragon Watch. And then here is my third bookshelf. I have some more Brandon Mull books. It's called the Five Kingdoms series, and followed by Fireborn and Flamefall by Rosaria Munda. And then I have The Mystery of Black Hollow Lane. And then I have a couple Naomi Novik books. I just finished Spinning Silver, which was really good, and so that's why I bought His Majesty's Dragon. And then I have some James Patterson. I have a Terry Pratchett book. And then I have a trilogy by Catherine Purdy. That middle book is actually this one is actually a arc. She gave that to me. And then I have my Percy Jackson series. And then the next shelf down, I have Percy Jackson Continued, and then the second series of Percy Jackson, and then I have Magnus Chase in there somewhere, right there. And then I have some Margaret Rogerson books, Sorcerer of Thorns, and Vespertine, and then a pineapple. A second pineapple. Alright, so the next shelf down is basically my Harry Potter display. This is a very, very beautiful cover. My brother got this for me. It's gorgeous. So I have that, followed by probably my favorite editions of Harry Potter, and then my Hermione wand right here. And then I have a book called The Sacrifice, and then The Antidote, and then I have The Arithmetist by Brandon Sanderson. Those books right here are nothing, so it's literally just like things that you can open. And then here is my display of The Nightmare Before Christmas, because I love The Nightmare Before Christmas, so I displayed it. And then there's that shelf that I don't really care about talking about. And then on to my very last bookcase, we have the top shelf, which is basically it's the Cosmere shelf, because all of these books are the Cosmere. We have Elantris, we have The Emperor's Soul, we have the first Mistborn trilogy, and then Mistborn Era 2, followed by Warbreaker, and then the Stormlight Archive. And then we have another book. We have another Rhythmatist book, and that is actually on display because it's a placeholder for Tress of the Emerald Sea. I think Tress of the Emerald Sea is a very beautiful cover, so I decided that I'm going to display that one once it comes in the mail. Alright, so then the second shelf down is I have some Schwab books. I have The Archived by her, and then A Darker Shade of Magic, followed by City of Ghosts, Gallant, Invisible Life, The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue, followed by This Savage Song, and then Vicious. And then I have The Priory of the Orange Tree, followed by Infinity Sun, and then some Obert Sky books, and then I have the first two books in the Vampirate series, and then The Bone Shard Daughter, which I'm currently reading, and it's really fun so far. And then I have the first book of Lord of the Rings, and then Brent Weeks' The Black Prism. And then here is my next shelf, and then I have the book called For the Wolf, followed by The Dragonbone Chair, followed by Rage of Dragons, and then Dave Wolverton's book, The Golden Queen, and then my very last book, I have The 13th Child. And then I have another fake plant, I have a rock that says Strength, and then I have some Stormlight Archive cards. And then the next shelves down, that's just my religious shelf, followed by some other things that I don't really care to show you. And then those are my shelves. Alright, thanks guys for watching. I hope you really enjoyed watching that bookshelf tour. I hope it was fun. I hope I was fun. If you want to watch more, I try to upload videos every Sunday, and I'm going to try uploading videos on Thursdays. We'll see how that pans out, but as of right now, trying every Sunday. And if you want to leave a comment, leave a comment. If you want to subscribe. If you want to follow my Bookstagram, go follow that, Bronson Sky Library. If you want to follow my Twitter, go follow that. That's Bronson Sky Books. And if you want to like the video, you can like the video as well. It feels weird saying those things, but here we are. So yeah, alright, have a great day guys. Bye!